Batman Returns is directed by Tim Burton and stars Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Danny DeVito. The movie tells the story of Michael Keaton's Batman after the event of the first film is now an established superhero of Gotham City. But once the Penguin arises to presumably run for mayor and find his parents, Batman is a bit iffy on him and is trying to dig up some dirt on him. And all the while, Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, is on the rise after being thrown out of a building, basically, by Christopher Walken. I mean, this is the most Christopher Walken has ever been in a movie, and will ever will be. Okay, but he plays Lucius here, and that's basically the movie. Batman's trying to fight the Penguin in Christmas. And this is why I'm reviewing the movie right now. It's a Christmas movie. It takes place on Christmas, and the Penguin is trying to ruin it by trying to run for mayor and kill all the little firstborn boys. Kind of like Ramses sounds like from the Exodus chapter of the Bible. So maybe there was a bit of inspiration there. But what really makes this movie so enjoyable for me is how violent it is. Now, I know the character of Batman, not violent, Batman, is more compelling when he is forced to not kill, or that is his rule, basically, in many of the best, if not all of the best Batman stories. But there are stories from the old, and some stories now, including Ben Affleck's, where Batman kills. And for this version, it suits him. I don't really have big of a problem because this version I could see killing, and it just doesn't bother me as much. I don't know. I'm not like that angry of a Batman fan that Batman would kill. If there is a reasoning, or if it is in line with the character in a movie, then I could get behind that version if he kills. I mean, in this version, it kind of reminds me a little bit of how Iron Man kills criminals. He doesn't just go out of his way to just randomly mow down some people. In Iron Man, he just goes after the people he knows he has to go after. And the same goes with the Michael Keaton version of Batman here. The Batfleck version, I cannot tell if he is like actually killing innocent people or not. That was like everybody's biggest problem. But here it's much more it's much more distinguished on who's a criminal and who's innocent. So it doesn't really bother me much here. But that's my whole thing of the Batman killing thing. How the actual film. Overall, I have to say that this movie is actually a step up in my opinion from the first film. I really enjoyed the first Batman by Tim Burton. But I feel like with Tim Burton having full creative control in this sequel, he was able to get away with a lot of dark shit. And I love it for that. There is a scene where Catwoman gets shot in the chest multiple times and is still walking. The Penguin has green blood coming out from the water, and Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman gets dropped onto a garden that's covered in glass, and there's a lot of horrific images here, and I like it. I like dark shit, especially in Christmas movies. That's why I love The Nightmare Before Christmas so much. Another Tim Burton property. I feel like Tim Burton likes to ruin Christmas a lot sometimes, and just is more in favor of Halloween. But anyway, I'm digressing. The performances overall, fantastic. As I said, Christopher Walken as basically the main sort of secondary bad guy to the Penguin. He and Danny DeVito's Penguin work off beautifully together, and they are sort of basically the bigger villains in this story. And Danny DeVito, they don't do a good job making him empathetic, but my God, is he so entertaining in this movie. I could still get behind what he's going for despite how fucked up and crazy it is. I mean, he's insane. He's trying to blow up Gotham by using rocket ship penguins. He's trying to kill all the first baby boys, and it's just, I love it. I love his crazy plans, and Danny DeVito's performance sells it, especially the makeup. The makeup and special effects here and the practical effects that they use in this film are astounding. I mean, they feel like a Tim Burton production. It feels like a Tim Burton production. And I just love how I was able to see the director's actual vision of his film come to fruition in all of his glory. And so I really admire the film for that, for being the director's creative vision without any studio interference. Because it feels like with the first one, he had to dial back a bit. It did not feel much of a Tim Burton movie that he would direct. This feels like a Tim Burton Batman movie that he will direct more, and that's why I enjoy it more. Michelle Pfeiffer is great as Catwoman, sexy. She's able to use that whip in real life, and I just love her. I just love her confidence in the role. She brings so much craziness to the character of Catwoman, and she brings a lot of humanity also, and is able to perfectly capture that balance. And even though Michael Keaton does not get much screen time here, I still think he is a really good Bruce Wayne and a very good Batman, and he really sells the role physically. I know he gets less screen time than the other characters, but I feel like as a character, he was given a lot more here and a lot more personality than in the first one. Where in the first one, again, it feels like everybody was being held back. And here, felt like everybody was able to give their all to their performances and style of directing for Tim Burton. And the action, fantastic. The music by Danny Elfman is beautiful. I love the score where all the penguins are taken all the way to Cobblepot down to the sewer after he died and just bury him under the water. It was Danny Elfman at his best. Is this movie perfect? No. It does get a little too dark and over the top at some places. And sometimes, again, Batman isn't the most compelling character, despite it being his movie. But overall, I had a fun time watching this film over and over again. It is such a dark movie, but I love it for that. And I'm going to give Batman Returns an A-. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time. And Merry Christmas.